the channel. And for those of you that are new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, life, and Christ combine. I'm so grateful to have you here on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment with me. In today's video, we're going to talk about keep going. Don't give up. But before we get started, if you're new here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more uplifting, empowering content like this. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. Okay. So earlier today, I was listening to a sermon, and the pastor was preaching a message about just do it. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. And I believe the message was titled something completely different, but the gist of the message was to keep going. And as I was listening to different podcasts and inspirational speeches and different things that I listened to throughout the day, I started to remember something that I had been telling myself at the beginning, and that was to never give up, to always believe in myself, to always keep going. And when life is happening, sometimes we forget to believe in ourselves. Sometimes we forget that we have a bigger purpose. Sometimes we forget that we're supposed to be doing something in our life and that we have a path to take. We have a journey to be on. We have things that we're supposed to be doing. And sometimes the worldly things, sometimes things that are going on around us seem so appeasing. And it's just like, oh, I really want to do this thing because it'll satisfy me because I selfishly want to do this thing. And I have to remember that there's a greater purpose, that I can't fall into the ways of the world. I can't just get distracted by the ways of the world and the things that seem appeasing. I got to do something that's actually going to make a difference. I got to actually do things that will actually be intentional. I have to be making steps that are intentional. I have to be the type of person that believes in herself. I got to make sure that no matter what's happening around me, no matter who believes in me or who doesn't, I have to always believe in myself. And it's not always easy because most of the times a lot of people don't believe in you. They'll put you in a box or a category and say, oh yeah, that's Trinesha, the writer, or that's Sam, the speaker, or that's John, the walker. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other job descriptions, but that's Tom, the human resources person. Like we have like all of these specific categories that we like to place people in this box as if that's all they can be, and that's not all that person is. That's just one job description, or that's one thing that they're good at, or one thing that they can do. It doesn't mean that that's all that they can do. And it's so funny. There was a message that Jakes Roberts did in the past, and she talked about how, no, it was TD Jakes, sorry, correction. TD Jakes did this message in a sermon in the past in one of his motivational speeches. And he talked about how people always try to say TD Jakes the pastor. And he's like, no, don't put me in a box. I'm not just a pastor. Because I didn't put myself in a box, it allowed me to be not just a pastor, but a writer. And he started listing all of these things that he was able to accomplish in his life, that if he would have just put himself in a box as a pastor, he wouldn't have thought outside of the box to do anything else or to go after anything else with the zeal and the zest that would have been necessary to accomplish those things. And I think it's important for us to not just put a title on ourselves and say, oh yeah, we're this. And I'm not saying when you're speaking affirmations, you shouldn't say, I am a writer or I am a business owner, if that's what God placed on your heart for you to do. I don't believe that everyone should do everything, but I do believe that we're gifted in certain areas. And I do believe that if there's something that God gifted us with, then that's the thing that we should be doing. And I'm not saying that you should only do one specific thing in your life. You might be gifted in one area, and you might be a person who's a motivational speaker, and God might say, okay, because you're a motivational speaker, not only do I want you to be a public speaker, but I also want you to be a person who sends out quotes. I want you to be a person who utilizes your gift in several different ways, not just one way. And so sometimes when we're going through life, we will just put ourselves in a box and be like, well, I'm just a writer, so I can only write books. but maybe you ghostwrite. Maybe you help someone else write or publish a book. Maybe you help someone else plan for a book signing. Maybe you utilize your skills to be able to write inspirational quotes. Maybe you write blogs. Maybe you write like a play or something of sorts. And so sometimes it's so funny how we can be good in one area and we can think that's the only thing that we can do when we're talented in so many other things. Like, I'll meet people in life who will tell me what it is that they do, and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I do this one thing." And I'm like, they may do that one thing, but that's not all they are. Like, if you only knew how good you are, like, if you're good in this one thing, can you imagine if you put your mind to all of these other things, or if you did this one thing and you decided you wanted to do or try something else which you could actually accomplish? Like, we really be in our own way, like, oh no, I'm just only gonna do this one thing. And it's like, nah, like, you could really do so many amazing things in your life. And sometimes we get so swept up in it being temporarily satisfactory that we just kind of we go like full force into that one thing, and we're like, okay, well, this is appeasing as like something that you get satisfaction from right away, so it's immediate satisfaction. I don't want to just wait 5 years to see my business blow up. I don't want to just wait a year for this thing that God has for me. I want to rush into it right now, even though I know this isn't my thing, even though I know this isn't my person, even though I know this isn't my job, even though I know this isn't my career field. I'm gonna sacrifice my dream to do something and settle just because temporarily it fulfills me. I don't want anything that's temporarily satisfactory. I want something that has longevity, that will be beneficial for the future. I want it to be beneficial throughout time, not just beneficial for a moment. I want to make sure that everything that I allow to be a part of my life, whether it's a friend, a person in general, whatever other area, whatever kind of ships or whatever, I want to make sure that everything is something that can be something that has longevity, something that lasts throughout time, something that can actually be mutually beneficial. I don't ever want to take away from someone's life, and I don't want anyone to take away from my life. So if I'm not adding anything to a person's life, then I don't want to just waste their time. I don't want to just be a person just filling up space. Like, if I know I can't be a good friend, I'm not just going to start just accepting friendships all over the place. I'm going to make sure that I can be the best friend I can be, so that that person has something that I'm adding something to that person's life. I'm not just taking away from them. When I go to a job, I'm not just working a job just because they accepted me. I'm working a job because I want to add something of value to the company. When I get in a relationship or I meet someone, I want to make sure that I'm adding to that person's life. I don't want to just take away from them. And so I think it's important for us to know that everything that we're doing in life should be something that is moving us forward, something that is beneficial for our lives and the other person's life. And I don't mean that you got to just selfishly be like, okay, well, this benefits me, I don't care about them. I mean mutually beneficial, something that can actually improve both of your lives, whether it's emotional intelligence that you're improving upon, or whether it is you being able to push yourself a little further instead of just staying stagnant in this one area. Or maybe it's you being able to take a moment, a beat to rest, and not just constantly working all the time, and someone allowing you or giving you the space to feel like you don't have to always hustle and bustle 24/7 all day long. You can actually take a moment and just enjoy that one moment in your life. So when we are going through life, I think it's important for us to know that we're here for a purpose, and to realize that whenever you feel like giving up, give yourself some more time. When I first started exercising, I'm going to do a quick story and then I'm going to try to hop off here because I don't want to be on here too long. But when I first started exercising, like, for those of you that don't know, I gained some weight. I started not exercising or walking or doing anything. I would like walk to the car to leave, or, something like that, like get up occasionally, but I wasn't really getting up and functioning that much. I wasn't doing that much mobility. And so and so eventually I started to just, my lungs just started to like get underdeveloped, and it wasn't doing as much as it should have done. So I went to the doctor's office, and the doctor said, your lungs are like a smoker's lungs because you need to get up and move. Like, you need to, even if you do 2 miles a day, you need to get up and start moving because it's not healthy for your body. And I didn't expect the doctor to say that. I just knew that I was being lazy. And so when I first started exercising, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna push myself and I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to do like 1 mile. I'm gonna try to do 2 miles. I'm gonna just keep on going until I get to where I need to go. And when I would start exercising and I have to do like crunches, or I would do some kind of push-ups or something, I would say, okay, I was doing Julian Michaels thing, and she would be like, okay, do 3 more. And something like 10 more seconds, 10 more steps, 10 more is, do 10 more seconds or 10 more reps of that thing that you were doing, and push yourself, because you never know how far you can go. And I feel like that's how we should be in life. Whenever we feel exhausted, whenever we feel like we can't go anymore, and I don't mean overexhaust yourself, I mean when you're like working on a project and you're like, oh, I just don't know if I can do it, and you feel like you're about to give up, give yourself 10 more reps. Give yourself 10 more of whatever it is that you can put out there, and just keep going. Don't give up on yourself. Keep believing in yourself, because we are the only thing standing in our way. There's so many blessings that God wants to give us in our life, and the only reason we don't have it is because of us. And we can like point the finger and say, it's because that person, it's because of upbringing, it's because of this and that. And I think real maturity stands in when you can really accept and acknowledge your flaws for yourself, when you can really take accountability for your actions and say, you know what, this might have happened in my past, but that's no excuse anymore. Now I have the choice to make a better decision for my future. And so when you take accountability, then you can start saying, okay, that was my past, and I'm going to use it to push me so that I can be in purpose, so that I can keep going, because I want this in my life. I desire this for my life. And closed mouths don't get fed. Like, if you're going to be quiet about asking God for the things that you want, if you're going to be stagnant or just stay still and stagnant in your life, then you're never going to achieve the things that you really want to accomplish. And I think it's so important for us to never give up on ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves first. And when we believe in ourselves, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. We're going to accomplish whatever it is that we put our mind to. Don't give up on yourself. Keep going. Keep going. Like, don't give up. Whatever's happening today is just today. It's just a moment. It's not your entire life. It's a sentence in the chapter of your life, of the story of your life. It is not everything. So don't let whatever happen, if it's something bad that happened today or in your past, stop you from your dreams and stop you from the future that you want to have. Doesn't matter what didn't work out, what did work out. It doesn't matter if you did get the job, didn't get the job, have this car, don't have this car, have this house, don't have this house. Whatever it is, it's in the past. It happened a moment ago. It's in the past. So now it's time to look forward and to be the best that you can be, and to never give up on yourself. You have to keep going, because it's the only way that you're going to get the things that you dream of. You have to pray about it. Say, God, I really desire this thing. If it's your will, let it be done. And then you have to go at it like with this energy, the same energy. I got this. I wrote this like a while back, but I don't know where I got it from. If I got it from somewhere, I'm sorry, but I remember writing this a long time ago. The same energy that you have when you be negative and you be like, I can't do this. Oh, this sucks. Oh, I can't never do. It's like I can't never have anything good. I rebuke all of that. But but the same energy you have when you say all them negative thoughts, when you be down in yourself, when you really feel like you can't do anything, it's the same energy. You got to keep that same energy when you're thinking positive. When you're like, I can do this. I'm about to accomplish everything. Everything in my life is about to go up. I'm about to be everything that God intended for me to be in my life. I'm about to be prosperous. I'm about to be wealthy mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Like, everything's going up. You got to keep that same energy times two, like when you're thinking positive, because For those of you that don't know, every negative thought is so powerful that you need at least 2 positive thoughts to contradict that negative thought. So whenever you are saying something negative, make sure you have 2 things front loaded in your mind. Like if you say, I can't do this, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God will never leave me nor forsake me. 2, bam, gone. That's how you got to be, though. You got to really just believe in yourself and go for it. Don't give up on yourself. Keep going. And definitely thank you for watching. I'm not going to be on here any longer because I took too much of your time, but I really appreciate you watching. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And remember, it's Trinesha Catrell on YouTube. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.